unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxingego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Pressure. Anthony Joshua, meet with me, is mod, has the weight of the world on his shoulders ahead of this Jake Paul fight. Roy Jones Jr., Andre Ward, they speak on it. And in this video, I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. The fight is tonight, and there's a couple different things we got to talk about. So let your boy Ego get unpacked. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I am back with some more boxing. Now, Anthony Joshua has the weight of the whole entire boxing world on his shoulders. Let me explain. Jake Paul initially was fighting Tank Davis. As you guys know, the fight kaput. Fight fell apart. Jake Paul subbed in Anthony Joshua. He had a month to get ready and train. He looks in shape. But for me, the pressure is on Anthony Joshua. Here's why. Because Joshua is the former two-time heavyweight champion. Joshua is 6'6", bigger than Jake Paul, and he's the Olympic gold medalist. So he is the guy that has been boxing his whole life. Versus Jake Paul, you're supposed to, on paper, lose this fight, right? Smaller, started boxing 5-6 years ago, not a gold medalist, right? Never really fought anyone, in my opinion, in boxing as dangerous as Anthony Joshua. And we're going to see, right? Some people will be like, oh, but what about Mike Tyson? Mike Tyson was like pushing 60. So he's a guy 20 years removed from actual fighting. He does shrooms and Broadway plays, and he was doing a podcast. Not the same. Joshua just fought and knocked out Robert Helenius. I understand his last fight, he got knocked out by Daniel Dubois. So it'll be an interesting watch, because I told you I have very weird feelings about this particular fight. That's why I haven't said too much about it. I'm just going to watch as a spectator. I have no expectation. I have no, because I don't like to, I've always been one to rely on my gut feeling. I really feel like almost not even like a human. I feel closer to just being an animal, because I have this like innate, keen animal instinct, and it's very primal. And it has served me very well in life. And I usually, if I have something in my gut feeling, like, you know, there's been times where it'd be a party or something, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to go to that party. And then later I find out some drama happened at the party, or there was a shooting or whatever. My life has happened like that, where things that I doubted, or people, they proved my instincts to be right at some point, right? And this particular fight, I don't know what it is, but I just have a funny feeling. I feel like people are going to be talking, but I don't know if it's going to be in the right way. I just feel like something weird could happen, something where it looks bizarre, WWE. It looks like, I don't know, just something weird. Yeah, I just have a weird feeling about the fight. That's all I could tell you. When you have a premonition or whatever, it doesn't have to make sense, right? Like, oh, the fight ends on a cut stoppage or something goofy like that. So again, I'm just gonna watch it. It's on Netflix. It's free. I'm glad they're not putting on pay-per-view because I don't know how many people would buy this on pay-per-view, right? Because you see a whole bunch of people saying it's fixed and rigged and stuff. So it'd be hard to sell on pay-per-view if people feel that. I understand Jake Paul said he's suing people that claim his fights are rigged and all that type of stuff. But the point is, if the spectators, the consumers feel this way in their heart, then they're probably not willing to pay. But being that it's on Netflix, that changes it up because most people, at least here in America, they got Netflix. But I want to get into what Roy Jones and Andre Ward had to say on All the Smoke podcast, and they have some really good talking points. So roll the clip.
He's got the sport of boxing on his shoulders. Go get it done and make it look like he don't belong in there with you. That's what's supposed to happen. There's no way, even if Anthony Joshua is not in tip-top shape, that Jake Paul is supposed to do anything with him. It's not supposed to happen. What's supposed to happen is Jake Paul is going to go in there, try to move around, try to sneak shots and hold, try to get a right hand through, and he can get a right hand through. Don't get it twisted. Jake Paul has been around long enough where he can sneak a shot in. Anthony Joshua better take the shot. He's not supposed to get hurt or wobbled by Jake Paul. It's not supposed to happen. Anthony Joshua, he's got his own reputation on the line. He's got the sport of boxing on his shoulders. Like the sport is quietly saying, hey man, go represent. That's cool what Jake Paul is doing with these events with certain guys, but you're not certain guys. You are who you are. Go get it done and make it look like he don't belong in there with you. But this is boxing. Something can graze off the top of your head and all of a sudden your body and your legs start doing some funny things. That can happen. But short of Jake Paul ducking his head and closing his eyes and landing a haymaker, which he's going to be looking for all night long, or as long as the fight lasts, this should be a fight that Anthony Joshua dominates from start to finish. This that old George Foreman where I got my hands up high and I'm walking to you. Block, 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 bing, bing, bing. Block, 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 bing, bing. Because every shot I hit you with, you're supposed to feel it. And he should be able to walk Jake Paul down and take care of business as if he is who we know him to be.
Now, it's rare that I agree. Like, you know, it's boxing. So I don't always agree with what people say. What Andre Ward said, I agree with pretty much 100%. Shout out to SOG. 100%. I've said the same thing, so we're on the same page. Me and SOG. EGO and SOG on the exact same page. This is Jake Paul's fight to lose, meaning you're not even really supposed to be here. People were like, oh, he's calling out Tank and Anthony Joshua and Canelo, and they said he was crazy for it, right? Tank, that would have been a difficult fight because Tank, I don't want to get too detailed because he's not fighting Tank, so it really don't even matter. But Tank is a world-class fighter, and he's smaller, and when you weigh 190 or whatever they agreed to, and you're trying to hit somebody who's moving and head, like people get it twisted. They'll be like, oh, but Tank gets hit in fights. Bro, he getting hit by Pitbull Cruz or Frank Martin or whoever, Brian Garcia, Barrios, lifelong boxers. Not only lifelong boxers, but even guys like Lamont Roach, lifelong boxers, people with amateur careers, and people his size. You know what I mean? Like, the smaller you are, like, you don't see heavyweights throwing the same volume of punches as Bam Rodriguez. Because Bam Rodriguez is this big and he fights at a lighter weight class. The heavyweights, to Joshua's size, 260, he's not throwing that many punches like that. Like, he throws combinations, but not like Bam Rodriguez, right? That would exert a lot of energy. So you guys have to understand boxing, right? And for me, this is just, it's almost a dumb fight for Joshua to take because you're coming off of a loss. Outside of getting a lot of money which Joshua already has money. He already has investments and real estate and all that type of stuff. So outside of the money and monetary financial gain, this will be a disaster for you. Not only if you lose, if Jake Paul in any way hurts you, if he can hang with you, if he rocks you, if he drops you, if he has any success, is like a failure. So me personally, that again, this is why I haven't really said too much about the fight. I just got weird vibes about it. Sue me, right? I typically don't like fights. I'm definitely going to watch it for the curiosity factor, and I'll get to that in a second. But I typically don't even like fights like this because for one guy, there's all the pressure, and then for the other guys, not really all this pressure. And I truly don't think Joshua has much to gain, right? Best case scenario for Joshua is what? He knocks Jake Paul out cold. That's the best case scenario. And then what? He already lost to Tommy Fury, so you're not taking his O. You know, people would just be like, oh, that was supposed to happen. But this can go awfully bad and awry if Jake Paul has momentary success, if he goes the full 8 rounds with you, if it looks fake. People are already saying it's a fake fight, it's fixed and rigged. So if any way, shape, or form, it looks like you carried him, people aren't entertained, you can't put him out, do away with him, that's going to come down on the 6'6" boxer, right? And we've seen Joshua have problems with smaller guys, to be honest. Carlos Takam, Andy Ruiz, guys who are smaller than him. It's like he frees up almost. Like, I don't want to say big for nothing, but when he fights people, like he fought Robert Helenius, had a little bit of issue, but then he knocked him out. Helenius is like 6'6", big dude, big Viking looking muff. But the smaller guys like Povetkin, Carlos Takam, Andy Ruiz, right? He had problems with all them. Joseph Parker, who was smaller than him, right? He had issue with all them smaller guys, right? So the pressure is all on Joshua as far as I'm concerned, because you took this fight and there's not much upside for you. But let's get into what Roy Jones had to say.
I don't see nowhere in the world that a former gold medalist, former heavyweight champ of the world, maybe 2 times, is going to let Jake Paul beat him. I like Jake Paul a lot. I think this is one of the most dangerous fights he's ever going to fight. Yeah, if he can hit AJ, he got a chance to get AJ down too, because when you're that heavy, and we know AJ has been down before, you do have a chance if you can put a good one on his chin. However, AJ is a former Olympian, a former world heavyweight champion.
Gold medalist.
Now, unless he's completely out of shape. If he's completely out of shape, anything can happen. But if he's in shape, no. As you saw what happened when Ngannou came in and tried it with him, right? No, he said no, because he was not just a high-class professional. He was a high-class amateur, a top-notch amateur, a gold medalist at the Olympics. These guys know how to box. You understand me? They just learned a few minutes ago. They know how to box. So if you don't have that in you, or some real killer in you, some sacrifice to eat 2 or 3 to get you one, you're not going to beat him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jake Paul is not going to be able to eat 2 or 3 from Anthony Joshua to get the one.
That's my point.
Right.
So Roy Jones, he was like, yeah, it's an uphill battle. I just seen weird stuff happen in boxing. I will say this on behalf of Jake Paul. The thing is, me personally, I don't trust Anthony Joshua. Right? I do think he's a good fighter. He has some solid accomplishments. But mentally, I have seen Joshua fold. Right? He was talking about, my physio, and he had a psychology. Do you know what I mean? Right? And he has these like mental lapses in fights where he almost looks unsure of himself. And he already fought in America when he fought Andy Ruiz and he got clobbered. He seemed like low-key like the type of dude where the pressure can get to him at times. I'm just being real with you, right? The pressure can get to him. Now, if Jake Paul is fighting like Usyk or something, I'll be like, no chance. There's no chance he beat Usyk right now. in my opinion, right? Because Usyk, he don't bend, fold. He's mentally pretty tough. Even Tyson Fury, I think, is like mentally, he not gonna break. Joshua, he might mess around and almost succumb to pressure. I don't trust Joshua. It is what it is. He's coming off a knockout, hasn't fought in a year. He was super quiet. He was supposed to do like kind of a tune-up fight, and now he's taking this with a month training. I don't know. Coming off a knockout loss, I don't know. Still a risk for Jake Paul, but Joshua, for me personally, he's hard for me to all the way get behind. Like some of the British fighters, they don't have the same doggedness as guys from other regions like America, Mexico, Argentina, in my opinion, right? So I understand Joshua on paper, he's better in every way and bigger and stronger and stuff like that. That's why, like I said, it's kind of a weird fight for me. So I'm just going to watch it, and I don't even know what to expect. I just kind of expect some BS, to be honest, but we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But Joshua, I truly believe his career hangs in the balance of this fight. I've already said that before. I truly believe that because, again, that's why it's kind of a dumb fight for me for Joshua to have taken, because if you were to lose, we already know 2 losses back-to-back in boxing is terrible for you, regardless of if it was a former YouTuber like Jake Paul or not. That's just bad business when you lose back-to-back. But then on top of that, if you lose to a YouTuber on Netflix, it's going to get good viewership. Joshua, where does he go from here? Another reason why this is kind of a dumb fight for Joshua, in my opinion, is because there's so many reasons. One, they did USADA testing and they didn't do VADA testing. But I heard people on the undercard were doing VADA testing. So that's weird. You only had a month to train. You've been out the ring a year. You're coming off of being knocked out. Again, no VADA testing, only USADA testing. Weird fight where you also couldn't weigh whatever you wanted. I get it, you may weight, but you couldn't weigh more than 245. Now you have an immense amount of pressure. Trust me on this one. An immense amount of pressure. People are expecting you to do what you did to Francis Ngannou. And to be honest, Jake Paul, as a boxer, is probably better than Ngannou. Ngannou got a lot of power, but we only really know him from the Tyson Fury fight. Jake Paul has fought actual boxers, be it Tommy Fury or that Andre dude, or there's a dude from Vallejo, my backyard, you know what I mean? 707, yee! There's a dude from Vallejo he knocked out, right? So before the Mike Tyson fight, he fought. He's been in there with some people who career have been boxing, right? So he's better than Ngannou. I don't know about who got more power or whatever. So if Joshua, if Joshua get caught lacking, it's gonna be ugly. Boom! Look at this AI. Look at this AI, yo. I don't know, man. Again, I'll be here to do my recap, so definitely come back to the channel. But all the pressures on Joshua. First fight in America was disastrous with Andy Ruiz. Now this is your second fight. You need to win. There's no other. The world of boxing is on your back for sure in this Jake Paul fight. No exceptions. People are expecting you to eliminate, again, what you did to Ngannou, do that to Jake Paul. And if it looked weird or fake or you lose, it's over. And again, here's another reason why I feel is kind of a dumb fight for Joshua. They were talking about Joshua fighting in like February, right? A tune-up, and then fighting Tyson Fury. Boy, if you lose to Jake Paul, I repeat, if you lose to Jake Paul, nobody is going to demand or want to see you fight Tyson Fury, period. Tyson Fury, I understand there's a rivalry, but this is do or die for Joshua, people. How could you want to watch a fight that's way past his expiration date, right? Tyson Fury is coming off 2 losses to Alexander Usyk. If Joshua loses to Jake Paul, he too will be coming off 2 losses to Daniel Dubois. And then if he were to lose to a guy like Jake Paul, then you're losing to someone who started boxing very late, right? Been doing it, you're an Olympic gold medalist losing to someone who's been doing it 5-6 years. The Tyson Fury fight goes up in smoke. So I'd be very, very curious to see if Turkey wants to pay and Ring and all that Riyadh season wants to pay for a Fury versus Joshua if they are both coming off 2 consecutive losses. Because to me, some people say better late than never. I just don't need to see it at that point if you can't beat Jake Paul. So I don't know. Intriguing because here's the intrigue for me. The way Jake Paul is acting, he's acting like he knows something the rest of us don't know. And for me, that's always going to make me curious to see, did you really know something or not? Like, he's laughing and joking and screaming and all types of stuff, screaming in the mic. And most diehard boxing fans can't really place what you're seeing in Joshua where you think this is a fight that'll go your way and pretty much why you want this fight. So I need to see it for that reason, because I want to see what made him pick Anthony Joshua, because for me, it does feel a bit weird if you had a pretty tough fight with Tyron Woodley, you're losing to Tommy Fury, who in my opinion is nowhere near Joshua. What do you have? Is there something we don't know about, like weight rehydration stipulations or something that is unclear to us, the reporters and fans, that is making you this confident, right? That you can beat him by knockout and stuff. Did you hear something? One of his Lawrence Okoli or one of his old friends or sparring partners told you he's kryptonite. So that's pretty much why I'm watching. But the weight, I agree with Andre Ward, the weight of the boxing world is on Joshua's back. We'll see how he performs. No more, no less. But it's gonna be an ugly long flight back across the pond if he comes up short for any reason. Period. We unpacked. Live streaming can be tough, which is why I use StreamYard. Click the link in the description for StreamYard, which is an awesome tool that enables you to set up your stream with ease of use. Get great results with live streaming. It's what I use. Stream to social media with ease with StreamYard. Live streaming is here to stay. Engage with your audience using StreamYard. Great way to reach out to your audience and connect. So you need a tool that can do that. If you're new to YouTube and you're struggling to get views, one tool I can provide to you is TubeBuddy. I've been on YouTube over 10 years. I use TubeBuddy daily to crank out videos just like this one that you're watching. Learn how the pros do it with TubeBuddy. YouTube receives a lot of traffic, which also means a lot of creators, a lot of people putting out content. So you need to learn the ropes so you know how to separate yourself, especially if you're new. But even if you're a pro, use TubeBuddy. The link is in the description. Get more views, more subscribers, and a higher click-through rate, so ultimately you can realize all of your online goals. Use my affiliate link in the description and grow your channel fast.